You've seen them. The red berets, the bold jackets, the news clips, the headlines. Maybe you passed them on the subway and wondered, who are these people? Maybe you assumed they were NYPD. They're not. These are the guardian angels, unarmed volunteers patrolling New York City's streets and trains for over 40 years. No badge, no backup, no paycheck. In a city with 35,000 police officers and billions in law enforcement funding, what makes someone step into danger with nothing but a uniform and a mission, and who gave them the right? It started in 1979 in the Bronx. Back then, New York wasn't just dangerous, it was crumbling. Crime had doubled in a decade. The subway was a rolling horror movie, graffiti-covered, dimly lit, and packed with fear. Curtis Sliwa, a 24-year-old McDonald's night manager, decided to do something. He formed the Magnificent 13, a crew of teens armed with whistles, basic martial arts, and red berets. They rode the 4 train to act as a visible deterrent. Not cops, not hired, just present. The press ate it up. Riders felt safer, but not everyone was cheering. Mayor Ed Koch slammed the group as reckless. Police Commissioner Robert McGuire warned they'd get someone killed. In 1982, when Guardian Angels detained a man for allegedly attacking a woman on a Queens platform, they were the ones arrested. Charges didn't stick, but the label did. Vigilantes. Then came the bombshell. 1992. Sliwa admitted he staged multiple subway rescues in the 80s, including a fake kidnapping to boost their profile. The damage was real, but so was the momentum. The Guardian Angels expanded fast. By the 90s, they had chapters in Tokyo, London, and LA. Membership exploded, but so did the rules. Recruits had to train, pass background checks, and agree to be frisked before every patrol. No weapons, no drugs, no freelancing. They operated like a paramilitary nonprofit, with a chain of command, internal discipline, and mandatory public service. Revenue came from donations, merchandise, and later support from Guardian Pharmacy Services, a for-profit company with connections to the group's leadership. Their 2023 tax filings show over $731,000 in revenue. But where that money goes, that's murkier. Fast forward to 2020, COVID hits. Crime spikes again. Subway assaults go viral. Public fear returns. And just like that, so do the Angels. In 2024, after a horrific incident where a woman was set on fire aboard an F train, Curtis Sliwa put the berets back on the tracks. Teams of 3 rode late-night shifts. They offered socks to the homeless. They monitored erratic passengers. They showed up. Critics rolled their eyes, especially when Sliwa, then running for NYC mayor again, gave press interviews in full gear, but others welcomed them. "They're not cops, but they're trying," said one Brooklyn writer. "I feel better when they're there." And they're not just patrolling. The group runs food drives, youth mentoring, and self-defense classes. Their mission, according to their website, is to empower people through service. But internally, it's a strict code. You break rules, speak to media unauthorized, or bring heat on the group, you're out. In 2024, during a live Times Square interview, Guardian Angels tackled a man Sliwa claimed was a shoplifter. The NYPD later confirmed he was from the Bronx and have found no stolen goods, but Sliwa doubled down, saying, "We used pain compliance." His mother back in Venezuela felt it. That line went viral, and not in a good way. Guardian Angels walk a razor-thin legal line. They're allowed to make a citizen's arrest in some states, but only if they witness a felony. A mistaken detainment, that could mean lawsuits, criminal charges, or worse. Over the years, multiple members have been stabbed, beaten, even killed on duty. Volunteers sign waivers acknowledging the risks. No armor, no insurance, just purpose. In DC, John Ayala, a veteran angel stabbed with an ice pick in the 90s, still leads patrols through metro stations. "We're here because we care," he says. "We're not judge, jury, or executioner. We're deterrence." But deterrence is a tricky thing to measure. Do red berets reduce crime, or just shift it a few stations down the line? Academics are split. Some argue their presence is placebo. Others say it buys time, keeps the peace until the cops arrive. What's not debated is the image. image. A trained volunteer standing alone in a subway car, one hand behind their back, the other gripping a pole, eyes scanning for trouble. For older New Yorkers, it's a callback to chaos and to people who stood up anyway. For younger recruits like 19-year-old Maria Gonzalez, it's about family. This gives me a reason to be proud, she said. This gives me people. So why do they endure? Maybe because they represent something people secretly want. Accountability without bureaucracy, protection without politics, or maybe it's just the illusion of control in a city that often feels out of it. But when you strip away the nostalgia, the branding, the drama, what remains are civilians risking their lives for strangers. Not always clean, not always right, but very, very real. The guardian angels exist in the space between authority and anarchy. They are both relic and rebellion. Legal, illegal, respected, mocked, it all depends on who you ask. But whether they're an outdated symbol of 1980s grit or a grassroots alternative to modern policing, one thing is clear: they haven't gone away, and in a city that never sleeps, maybe we need people who won't either. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more guard guides, and be safe.